KR does the preparations together with the producer. So hey, I didn't know. So he has a book. I knew it, man.
Yeah.
Oh
So
man.
ain't no better way to promote your book when you want it. The new Diddy Accuser is suing him for 5 million, and you wouldn't guess for what it is. It has nothing to do with any intercourse, but it is assault. Diddy, I don't know if if he actually needs to fight this. My bad. Fair use.
Says, you know, he's following me. And I didn't think of it as a threat. Next thing you know, we're in front of Herald Square. It's about 1 a.m, and his bodyguard pulls his sports car and runs me off the road. So now I'm on an island, the trooper, and we get out of the vehicle. Lance gets out of the vehicle, but that's the moment we realized he was not alone. It was not just Puffy and bodyguard. There were 4 other cars. They were loaded with guys. The next thing I hear is pop, pop, and then Lance says, gun, gun, and it's all going down at the same time. And for the life of me, how I got teleported out of that situation, I don't know. But I jump back in my truck. Lance jumps back in the truck. I jump over the island. Now it's a hasty car chase. I'm on sidewalks. I'm going down one ways. It's 1 o'clock in the morning. There's not a lot of traffic, but the traffic that was there, I was able to basically escape this guy and his goons. That's what happened that night.
It's an incredible account, and it's very detailed as well. So I'm assuming that you've included all of these details in the lawsuit. The only question I have for you, DeWitt, is that the statute of limitations on assault is usually about a year. How are you going to get past the fact that this is decades now?
Well, the way to bring a case into court past the statute of limitations, if you're not SA, sexually assaulted with the New York state laws, is new evidence. And as of recent, a few months ago, I'm in touch with, there were 2 people with me in the truck, by the way, and I have not had contact with them. But recently I was in touch with Lance Calfé. Lance Calfé was my security in the truck at the time. And so we've all been intimidated, quite frankly, by Puffy and his money, you know, and his name changes and all of his goons and security and his fan base. And so 2 things. Number 1, I got back in touch with Lance. He gave full testimony to the event that night. He's never given full testimony. Number 2, as I said, not just me, but many people have been intimidated by this guy's power and influence and his money, and not for nothing, but he could wipe me out in no time, you know, with that much power. So I was afraid, to be honest with you. But ever since he's been locked up now, now we have the federal government on our side. We feel protected. We're no longer afraid, and I speak for all the victims, whether it's Cassie or Natanya Rubin, or who got shot in the face by him, or any of Diddy's victims. I'm here to speak out for them. So in terms of not coming forth, I just feel safe now to come forth and tell my story, and that's really what it is, just standing on my truth.
KR.
Well, DeWitt, I'm really appreciative.
The question was, how are you going to get past the statute of limitations? He didn't answer the question. No one was asking you about your truth. They were asking about how you're going to pass the statute of limitations. I'm going to bet you I bet you he has something else to sell. A book, a movie, a song. Something's coming, because he didn't answer the question. So everyone's looking for a come up, or maybe a come higher up. Oh, I knew it. I knew it. Guys, I didn't know. This isn't rehearsed.
No.
I literally,
You
so
didn't know.
KR does the preparations together with the producer. So hey, I didn't know. So he has a book. I knew it, man.
Yeah.
Oh,
So ain't no better way to promote your book when you want it. So the first time I've heard of this story is a couple of weeks ago. I happened to be watching Star's show, and this guy calls in. Stars knows of him because he basically triggers the guy to tell the story again. Apparently, maybe I told it before on the show. He tells this story. You know how Star is. He'll try to put the heat to your feet to see whether you can test. You can walk past the test, or at least the minimum bar. Well, after that, I was like, I don't know if I can believe this story. Even if it's believable, again, like you said, it's very old. It's 1996. But I guess, like you predicted, it's probably using this just to promote the book. Ain't no better way to promote the book than this one.
it
Yeah.
is. It's clear. So I'm an attorney. So that's the first thing I thought. And then the woman asked the reporter asked the question, and he didn't answer the question.
No,
Talking about your truth. Oh man, I know it. Sometimes KR, I mean, you predict certain things, but I do as well. So
yeah, you can, you do. So that's the great thing about the great two predictors. If you want to see the future, watch our show. No, I'm just kidding. Now, but all jokes aside, so here we are. This guy is suing Diddy for $5 million. I'm gonna say this, and we've been saying this for a while now, is that we do believe that Diddy is not, to use a specific word, kosher. It ain't nothing good about him, but one thing we do here at the Double Thought Show is a lot of objective breaking down, analyzing of situations. And one thing we said earlier as well is that with these lawsuits, the vultures will come out. People who wanna maybe get something, get their names out there for promotion, which is in this case, it seems like this is more promotion for the book than actually him trying to sue to gain any justice or monetary repayment. You have people who are telling lies. I think we broke this down already in the past. I think we did, yes. You have people who will lie, people who will tell the truth, and people who will use the situation to see how far they can get.
yeah,
And this seems like the last one. This is just, let's see what we can get out of it. I have a book out telling a story. The story is a very entertaining story. He was chased like at least for 30 minutes through whole inner city of New York in the 90s at 1 o'clock. He was driving on the road, then on the sidewalk, on the road again. It was a wild chase. I don't know if back then you could do that, but hey, I was just a baby back then. Not that baby, but not that young. But hey, it's what it is. But this is the thing, right? And this is such a bad look on accusers, because people like this will harm the case, or at least the public case against Diddy. People will say, you see that? That's a money grabber. That's someone who's gonna tell any story just to promote the book. and people who were really hurt in that situations will be not believed. That's the disadvantage of these situations. RJ.
Yeah. But I think we do live in an era that people don't care about those things. They don't care about legitimacy. It's about the come up.
They do.
They like the drama. People like drama. People like
It's a good story.
Yeah. So it's like great. Now is the time. They don't care whether or not, you know. I mean, what do they have? What do they stand to lose? That's basically what I think is going through their mind. The iron is hot, so it's time to strike. Get it? You need to strike, KaiR, because the iron is hot. But but nah, all jokes aside. So I don't think people really. So you have two sides, right? You have the writer who doesn't care, the victim / writer, and you have the news anchor who doesn't care either, because it's good for the news.
It's good for the ratings.
So it's all the whole infrastructure, so the media infrastructure right now is geared towards drama. So whether it's right or wrong doesn't matter. Do you think the news anchor probably thought the same thing as I did? Sir, you didn't answer my question. Is she going to stop? Is she going to remind him? No, she's not. Because she knows that it's about the rating.